I noticed something where it seemed like this year, for the first year that I've ever been doing music videos, the budgets have been going up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even if a video starts with a smaller budget, by the time we shoot, they've raised it a few times for us. Sometimes we have budgets completely double, which a couple years ago was like unheard of.
Welcome to Cinema 5D on the Go. Moving conversations about moving images with filmmakers and industry leaders. Brought to you by Kessler Crane, Fujinon, G Technology, and Schneider, in association with Sony. This is your host, Nino Leitner.
So what are some of the cool music videos that you've worked on lately that you're really proud of?
Actually that one I was just telling you about, it's Machine Gun Kelly, Quavo, and Ty Dolla $ign. It's off his new album, a song called Trap Paris. It's not out yet, but by the time this comes out, it'll probably be out. That was a cool one I just did. Another really good one we did this year that I was a producer on was we did Joe Jonas's group, DNCE, with that song with Nicki Minaj called Kissing Strangers. That's a really awesome video. It's like a 2-day shoot, probably one of the bigger budget ones that we've done. It's a great song, great video. And we did another one this year that I produced for this huge Latin artist called Romeo Santos. The video was called Hero Favorito. And it was awesome. It was another 2-day shoot. It was really cool because it was a superhero themed video. Because I'm really into comic books and all that type of superhero movies and stuff. So it was cool to do a video that was had that kind of theme running through it.
How often how much influence does the artist have in the music video? Is that different depending on the artist, or how much say do you as a writer or director have in what the actual video will look like? It's
so funny. I was actually just having a conversation with another music video director I produced for, Mark Classfeld, the other day, and we were talking about it, how it just runs the gamut. Especially now that he was telling me, because he started doing music video a long time before me. He said more so in the 90s and 2000s, they would really lean on the director for the idea. Those bigger budget days, the ideas were really coming from the director. Now, since I've come into it, he said, it's changed a lot. And nowadays, a lot of times, the label, sometimes you can't even tell because you're not dealing with the artist directly from the front. You're dealing with the music label. And the label will send you sometimes almost a whole video. The whole video's outlined, and it's what am I even doing? You add a little sprinkle of sauce on top of it, but it's really kind of like a concept that they already had, or the artist already had. Or I've had some times where the artist does call me and they kind of have this vision of what they want to do, and you just kind of figure out the best way to implement it, So it can happen like that, or sometimes, still today, it can be we have no idea, just give us something cool.
So it's pretty much like the relationship between an advertising agency and the creative, right?
Yeah, sometimes it can be like that. Yeah, it really is like that a lot nowadays, it seems like, with the labels. It seems like it's more rare where you just have free reign to do what you want to do as a director nowadays. Now, that's if you're working with a label. If you're working independently with artists, which I do a lot, that's how I started, was working just direct with an independent artist. Then 9 times out of 10, you're able to just kind of do what you want to do. But a lot of times on those independent videos, you have much less of a budget. So at that point, you're constrained by the budget.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you can't win either way. It's you get the big budgets from the label, they know exactly what they want to do, and you kind of got to just do it. It's exactly like you said, advertising agency with commercials. And when you get these small artists who let you give you creative reign, you're tied in by the budget because you can only do so much on the limited funds.
Where do you see, the whole music industry has been under a lot of pressure, and it kind of, the budgets for videos coming down kind of coincided with, them losing a lot of money basically because of when piracy came along and stuff like that. So,
well, I actually have good news on that. I noticed something where it seemed like this year, for the first year that I've ever been doing music videos, the budgets have been going up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even if a video starts with a smaller budget, by the time we shoot, they've raised it a few times for us. Sometimes we have budgets completely double, which a couple years ago was like unheard of. And I've been watching videos too. It seems like I can tell. I see the videos. You can see the creativity is coming back a little more because the budgets are going up. Because I know the people are working on other videos and they're telling me the budgets. I'm like, these budgets are going up. And I'm like, what's going on? So I read an article that basically stated that last year, 2016, was the first year that the music industry profits have gone up.
Oh, wow.
Since they started the decline in the kind of late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
So since that decline started, when Napster and everything came out, that's a long time. You're talking about like a 15-year decline.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Last year was the first year profits were up. And this year will be kind of the telling year. If profits are up again, which it looks like they are, I can kind of tell already, because the reason these budgets are going up, they're not going up because they decided, hey, we want to spend more money on videos. They're going up because they're making more money. But if that trend stays this year with the profit overall in the industry going up, that means that the music industry is actually back on an uptrend.
It's recovering,
Yeah, and they're figuring out how to operate in this new world that we're in.
Yeah, I think there isn't a lot of piracy with music anymore.
No, because
everybody's streaming, but I mean, it's kind of ripping off a lot of artists, though, to be honest. Like, I mean, Spotify pays them next to nothing.
Yeah, but I think what it is too, they're figuring out other ways to monetize the music and the videos. Because, for instance, every video we do nowadays, if it's a label video and it's over like 50,000 or over 100,000 for the budget, whatever, we have product placement in there. You know, every video is product placement. Every music video nowadays is a commercial in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have the advertising from, you know, YouTube or whoever. Like, I think they're figuring out better ways to monetize all of that, and even, you know, monetize the streaming of the music, and or get artists in deals with other brands, and the concerts seem like they're getting bigger. So they're figuring out other ways to make money from the music and the artists and the videos besides just selling music. And I think for so many years they were stuck just selling music, and it took them such a long time to figure out, well, how do we do this without just selling music and basically just giving it away, because it's what everyone was doing. You know, when Napster and all that came out, they were getting music for free. So they figured out a way to give people music for free, but still get paid, you know, and now they're doing it efficiently, and it's going back up, you know, and the budgets are going up, because we're definitely seeing it on the videos. Like, you know, I've seen the biggest budgets I've ever seen this year on videos, you know, and even sometimes like from some of the directors I produce for, you know, they're veterans. Like, they've been in the game since the 90s when there's millions of dollars. And sometimes when they even see some of these budgets, they're like, well, wow, we haven't seen these in a few years.
It's getting there.
Yeah. You know, I don't foresee it going back to like the 90s where it's like every video is $1 million. You know, that would be lovely. I don't know, like if this trend
continues. On the other hand, it's also not, I mean, you know, from a technical point of view, it's also not that expensive anymore. Yeah. If you think about how much of that $1 million used to be spent on film stock and developing the film, it's probably a couple of 100,000. Yeah. So. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the costs have come down, but even, so it's like even if where videos are at now, if the standard budget was to double from what it is at today, that's something that I could see happening if this kind of uptrend in music profits continues. You know, and then it could be something where it's easier for people to make a living doing it. Yeah. You know, where I see a lot of people working music videos, they kind of struggle, you know. And the only reason I've been able to kind of do it comfortably is just because I do so many things, you know, and I'm running a business. I'm not just an artist. Like, I'm an artist myself, but I also consider myself a businessman just as much as an artist, you know. And that's kind of, seems like it's the only way to kind of really sustain yourself. Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people in our industry, artists, creatives, are really bad business people. So that's that's one of the reasons why a
Yeah.
lot of them struggle.
Yeah, and it's super important. I mean, and not even just in videos. I feel like in anything.
Oh,
whether
any
you're working-
arts.
Yeah, whether any arts. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
entertainment. Whether you're doing movies, television,
Yeah.
commercial, you want to be smart with your business. Not so necessarily saying you have to actually run a business. I mean, I myself choose to, because it's just how I like to operate. But you have to at least be knowledgeable in it, so you don't
Yeah.
get screwed when you're doing a deal, or so you know how to manage your money when you do get it.
So where do you see yourself or your business in 5 or 10 years?
Well, my main thing is that I really want to get into doing feature films. That was like my passion since a kid, just as much as videos ever were, And if we go back in my story, I was just kind of tainted to it as a young age, but once the video thing really started working for me, I saw it kind of as a pathway back to that. And and it also gives me a lot of experience because I'm always on set. I'm always shooting. I understand how things look. And even on my a lot of the videos I direct, I try to incorporate somewhat of a story or a narrative to it. So that's really where I envision myself going, is into making feature films.
As a director or producer?
As a both director and producer. Like I have right now projects that I've written, that I want to direct. And I also have projects that I'm shepherding along as a producer, helping other people develop their scripts, trying to get funding for them. So I definitely, even when I go into features, I want to stay doing both. I want to direct, I want to produce, I want to DP still even. That's one thing I may let go into features. I may get one of these great guys if I can afford it to shoot one. But I know in the beginning, if I have something I'm really passionate about and I have just enough to do it, if it requires me shooting it, then I'm going to shoot it because I know I have the skills to do it. And then the great thing is the way I've been setting up my business, I've been setting it up with, bringing in other directors to my company, bringing in other producers. So even once I do start doing feature films, the music videos could still go. They can start, like today, right now, I have a music video going on right now. I'm not there, I'm here. So I've really built my video business like that, so to the point where it can kind of run itself
that's good.
and operate without me being part of it on a day-to-day basis and just kind of oversee stuff. So that way, going into the feature world or even television, I'm also very interested in television as well because they have a lot of great stuff now. A lot of great stuff on TV, and especially like on the Netflix and the Hulus and
Well, basically, I feel that's where all the creativity is moving now. And whereas actors and directors didn't ever want to be on TV in the past,
now
in the
everyone loves
80s or 90s, now everybody wants to be just there.
Everybody wants to be it, And actually, last year I wrote a pitch for a TV show and a pilot, and actually we're shopping that right now with another producer that I work with. So even though I'm like, I'm super on the music videos like 90% of the time, I do, set aside time to work towards getting a television project off the ground or a feature film off the ground. I just want to make sure when I do one of those things, it's done the right way, and it looks right. That's why I've taken my time trying to do it, because I've had projects offered to me, even from when I was in the Bay Area, like small features where it's just, the budget was so teeny, I just didn't feel like we could accomplish a look and a feel that would be anything worthwhile, And also some of it was projects where they were already giving me the script, or the subject matter, and I'm very particular with the type of project I want to do when it comes to a movie, and they just weren't genres or stories that I was interested in. Because I feel like with movies, it's you only get so many shots, usually it's just one. So you do one bad thing, it could be
at
over,
the most.
But music videos, they're like, it's like McDonald's hamburgers. They're just popping them out. So you might make one bad burger, no one's noticing. No one's noticing.
1 million served.
As long as you make some good burgers in there, it's fine. It's fine. You just sweep the bad ones under the rug. But with movies, it's not the same thing. So I've always made sure to take my time and make sure the first thing I do is something I believe it's worthwhile of value. You know?
Well, awesome. Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, and thanks everybody for watching this episode of Cinema 5D on the Go. Stay tuned for another episode next week, every week, and stay tuned to cinema5d.com for all everything related, video camera reviews and news. Thanks for watching.